Lyndel Bates, Associate Professor with Griffith University and the Institute of Criminology. Thank you very much for joining us on MySecurityTV and welcome to World Police Summit here in Dubai.
Thank you so much, Chris. It's great to be here.
Wonderful. Now we're going to talk road policing and I suppose there's a whole host of research that you can do within that domain. Maybe introduce us to your role and why you're here in Dubai.
Yes, so I'm here today, here for the week to participate in the World Police Summit and talk about how we can use research to improve road policing and to reduce deaths and injuries on the road.
Now you're on a panel session tomorrow and you've also got a keynote. Maybe introduce us to the keynote. What's your focus going to be?
So my focus is going to be talking about research evidence and why it's really important to inform both the practice and the interventions that we develop, and also to assess whether those interventions have actually worked in the way that we had hoped that they would.
And in the context of policing and how police approach their role in road safety?
That's correct. Because road safety is a really broad area. There's a lot of actors and institutions involved, but the police are really critical when it comes to changing behaviour. They're the ones who do a lot of the enforcement, which is a key part of changing behaviour on the roads.
I suppose, aren't they limited in terms of, it's always one of those things of should the police be there, or the camera systems that are there as well, that takes sort of less pressure off the police. How much responsibility should police have for road safety? Is it not the other actors that are all playing their part?
You're 100% correct. We've also got the transport departments and the justice departments that set up the legislative framework. But I think what you're really getting at there is what's the optimum mix between automated enforcement and in-person enforcement. And I think that's a constantly evolving dynamic.
Well, we were talking off camera about autonomous cars coming through, and is that going to impact on road safety in a positive way? But then you were saying, driving a Tesla can distract the drivers and make them sort of rely on the car and pay less attention. So it is a knife that cuts both ways, right?
It is a knife that cuts both ways. And I think we call that risk homeostasis. So
you are a researcher?
I am a researcher. So as things in the system make us safer, human beings adapt so that we still feel that same level of tolerance for safe behaviours.
Yeah. What's the general trends in Australia? The road toll is still high, and I think often it does. Again, talking about actors, it's often the regional roads which are the worst, right? The city roads are generally, the speeds have come down over time, 40, 50 kilometres now.
Yes.
But the country roads are still a major issue.
That's true, and there's a range of reasons for that. But one of, I think, the big reasons is if you're more than 15 minutes from medical care, something that might be considered quite minor in a city, has a big impact because you're 15 minutes from medical care. So it takes,
in terms of an accident afterwards?
In terms of after a crash.
Okay. Yep. What's the general trends? Do you keep on top of the trends in Australia in terms of crash rates and the like? Is it up and down, or and what's some of the data sets that you look at?
So in Queensland last year, we had just over 300 fatal crashes. And hopefully that will come down. That's certainly the work that a lot of people are putting into.
Yeah, but see, 300 does sound high for a state.
It is high. It is high for a state, yes.
Okay. Well, look, you're on an international stage here in Dubai, and having a look at the panel, you've got Denmark and Finland and as well as Australia and New Zealand being represented. So well done for being here in the first place, representing Griffith University and the Institute of Criminology. But Lyndel Bates, Associate Professor, best of success, and hopefully we'll make it to your session. But thanks for joining us on MySecurityTV.
Thank you so much, Chris.